Welcome to the boy of Bit Crypto. Home of the BitSquad, the squad of Bit. The largest and greatest crypto community in all the interwebs and the universe as well. My name is Ben. Every day on this channel.
It was a hotkey I didn't realize BJ had on tab.
Every day on this channel, I show you how to make money in crypto. If you like money in crypto, make sure to go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Guys, today, the follow-up to yesterday's Around the Blockchain show, which I tell you what, that was a heck of a show. Got a lot of mixed reviews on it, and we knew there would be mixed reviews on it for sure. If you guys thought that show was ever going to go a different way, then you do not know my friend Richard. Look, it was a very exciting show. We had some other YouTubers making some videos on our video. We had George of Cryptos R Us saying that it was cringe, the whole thing, which, I mean, I think a lot of people would say there were definitely some cringe-worthy moments. And then George took the time to go through every one of Richard's points and pause it and, you know, give his feedback on it. He said he was disappointed people didn't, you know, put Richard in his place. Guys, do you know Richard? There is no putting Richard in his place. I don't know if you guys have watched Richard debate people, but he is a master debater. He's a master debater, for sure. And, you know, he knows how to, you know, spin those arguments. And some people would say some of it's circular reasoning and some of it's straw man arguments and, you know, that he doesn't actually directly answer the questions, but we allowed Altcoin Daily to give some criticism. I agree. Those are the three big points of criticism that Hex does get for sure. But it was a very entertaining show. We enjoyed it, and yet we'll have DAP University and Aaron from Altcoin Daily back on. We're going to get a little more talk time, of course, pretty soon. So, yeah, I mean, Richard owns everybody he talks to. That's kind of, whether he does or not, he definitely talks like he does for sure. So, look, I personally, I like Richard for sure. That's why we had him on. I don't agree with him on every single point. He makes a lot of points I do agree with, though, but it's just a matter of narrative, and, you know, basically he just says a lot of stuff out there is narrative, and he slices through that and just gives you all the raw. And, you know, some people like that. Some people agree with that. Oh, it's coming home. Oh, you guys would be pleased to know that while we were on Around the Blockchain, I'm going to dox myself here. While we were on Around the Blockchain, I was actually in the corner tab. I was actually watching the England-Denmark game. So good to see England. The penalty kick. Harry, the biggest player, you know, Harry Kane does the penalty kick, comes off, and then he follows it in and gets it in overtime. So it was a fun game to watch. I watched overtime is what I watched of it. I was doing other stuff at the gym. But anyways, guys, we really, yesterday was a good show. We're not going to have Richard on. You know, maybe down the road we have him on again. He's definitely not going to be, you know, a regular guest. He's a busy guy. He got other stuff going on. But just to follow up what I was going to say about George and Cryptos R Us and what he had to say, look, if I had the time to sit down and watch every point and pause it and talk about it, and then you can kind of get into the arguments while you're into it, I would really encourage George to bring, I'm sure Richard would go on a show, 100%. And then he can have those points with him and bring them up, and he'll find, I mean, it's like trying to pin down a wild monkey. Like, it's just really hard to do, especially when they got spinning watches in the background. So, yeah, anyways, it was a fun show yesterday. So make sure you guys check out Around the Blockchain every single day. At 5, and, you know, we'll have plenty going on. I think DZ's hosting today.
DZ is hosting tonight.
DZ back hosting today, so that's right. All right, guys, let's go ahead and get into it. We're going to talk about the markets. That was a fun conversation because, obviously, you know, today we're going to be talking about the markets. They're not doing fantastic today. Livid Music, by the way, one of our admins, he says he personally liked the fresh takes from Richard, no matter how abrasive it came across. And that's kind of the way I mean, I'm very fascinated by him. I do. Maybe I'm a victim. I like to hear him talk. So, more so than I like to talk, which is very unusual, as you guys know.
Also, guys, get your questions ready because we're going to do that Q&A right after the Market Watch. So if you have any good questions, start getting them ready.
Yeah. All right, here we go. We got BitBoy Crypto, 1.13 million subscribers. Do we have the... Oh, never mind. That's something else.
Yeah.
There it is. It's right there. Okay. All right, and here we go. We got on Twitter, 445,000. You guys make sure to go here to our contest. Make sure to click this link. Go to Gleam. We have a new entry down here for you guys to follow us on Twitch. A lot of people love Twitch. The Twitch chat is definitely pretty good. So you guys make sure you head on over there and get your contest entry. Let's talk about the markets here, guys. Markets. And you know what? I mean, really and truly, they're not down that much. I mean, what was it yesterday? 1.45 trillion today. It's 1.385 trillion. Not a gigantic drop, especially when you consider Bitcoin is now below $33,000. Bitcoin dominance holding steady. 28 Gwei, 14 Paraguay will get you a gas transaction on Ethereum. But the volume is up. 81 billion. This is the first time in a while I think we've seen over $80 billion. It's a 5.43% decrease. Saying 1.39 trillion, 5.43% decrease. So, yeah, I mean, the market lost, you know, I don't have that exact number. It looks like maybe about 80 or $90 billion, somewhere around there. So, not a tremendous amount, to be honest with you. We got Bitcoin 32.8. We got Ethereum getting hit pretty hard yesterday, or over the last 24 hours. After almost getting back up to 2,400, we got 2% increase for the week. Binance Coin up 9% for the week. Cardano up 2%. And I will tell you this, some coins to watch in the near future are obviously Binance Coin and also Crypto.com, which I think is around number 30. Crypto.com. Watch those coins and watch what happens with Crypto.com. I love Crypto.com. I've been an ambassador for them. I've used a card. Any major purchase that I make that's over $3,000 or $4,000, but below $25,000, I will use my Crypto.com card for. The reason is because I never have any problems with it. They actually let me spend my money, which is great. They have a limit on how much you can spend per month too, which is $25,000, but much more generous than what my bank does, where I can only spend $2,000 a day of my own money. So that doesn't work when you're making a large purchase. So I love Crypto.com, but guys, I want to continue to harp on this. We're going to have a very special video coming out for you guys next week about this digital currency group. We're going to start getting into the weeds of what's really going on with that digital currency group. And are there some, we're going to talk about over the weekend, are there some opportunities with some projects that they support to where we can swim with the whales? We're going to basically be doing an expose. And we're going to be telling you guys what exactly is going on with digital currency group right now, their ownership. We're going to talk about all of that. So make sure to stay tuned. Coinbase is the chosen exchange. Binance is not. Crypto.com is not. Look for Crypto.com to get some similar pushback to what Binance.com is getting right now. Why? Because digital currency group pushing Coinbase, the financial banking cartel, is all up in their pockets. So we're going to start exposing this stuff and calling it like it is. When you guys see this stuff coming against Binance, look, some people have had some bad experience with Binance. I understand that they haven't been perfect. Richard actually talked about it a little bit out on the show yesterday. They have certainly not been perfect. But do they really need the kind of negative attention they're getting right now? Or is it coming from somewhere else? Where's the pressure coming from? I would say a lot of this has to do with digital currency group, the crypto cartel, the crypto mafia, the financial banking cartel pushing these projects down. After they have their peace with Binance, look for them to turn to Crypto.com. Not because Crypto.com has done anything wrong. They have not. But because they're not in that. And you start to see the best way to become the tallest building in town is tear down all the other buildings. Much easier than erecting a new one. So let's see if we got anything else going on here. I did want to bring that up briefly. Top gainer of the day, we got Stacks. Also a digital currency group coin. Okay, just so you guys know. Now, look, I want to be clear about this. Just because digital currency group has their claws in a project doesn't mean we don't like the project. There are a lot over there that we do like. Decentraland is one. Stacks is another one. There's plenty of these. They actually own, did you know they own Brave? Or they have a stake in Brave? Mm-hmm. Yeah, Brave browsers, a basic attention token, goes along with that. We like that project as well. But it just means that there's some stuff going on behind the scenes that is not fair, is that's the best way probably for me to say it. They pull, strings and everything like that. We were saying the super chat is broke. Can we do some research on the super chat thing?
Yeah, I'll work on it.
Yeah, let's just do some research. We know that it happens. It's hard to do them because we got tight filters. Because you guys don't know, we pay a company $5,000 a month, actually maybe more than that now, to help us with the scammers, to crush the scammers and impersonators. And on YouTube, for the most part, I think we've done a good job of clearing that up. Moving on to other platforms soon, but we got those filters on tight. We got to have that. All right, let's look here at
also, real quick for the people on Theta. I'm sure they're happy. T-Fuel's right up there.
Yeah,
too.
T-Fuel right there, up 4%.
Theta.
And Theta up as well.
Flat.
Barely, but it's up when everything else is red.
So, Yeah, let's get some Q&A.
Yeah, Q&A. Here we go. Can Elrond hit $1,000? Sure. Not this cycle, probably, but maybe.
And also, we've got about 6,300 people right here now, guys, and about 1,200 likes. So if we could get those likes up, that'd be great. And let's see how many people we can get concurrent by the time we get to these Q&As every day. I think we can get more people in here earlier so we can get really good questions flowing.
Hi, boy of bit. So yeah, this is our new Q&A section. Just a reminder, if you do want to like the video, we would appreciate that. All you got to do is, if you're watching on mobile, X out of the live chat, hit the like button, click the live chat icon to come back. You didn't miss anything. If you're watching on TV, bottom left-hand corner of the screen, pull up more actions or more options and hit react, and you can like the video that way. So here we go. Let's get it.
So the first question I wanted you to take a look at real quick, somebody asked about the Rand Neuner tweet where he kind of challenged all the top crypto YouTubers to a trading contest. Have you seen that?
No, I haven't. Let's go check it out.
They wanted a reaction to that. More or less, he just says, you, Elio, Cryptos Are Us, MM, The Moon, Crypto Cobain, Altcoin Daily, Journey, and Chico to all trade. So,
yeah. Well, yeah, sure. I mean, we'll get in on it.
I think the rules. There's the rules right there.
Okay, here we go. Look at that. There's the rules. Okay, yeah, sure, we'll do it. Why not?
Perfect. Okay,
that was easy.
That was easy.
We don't ever turn down a challenge here on the channel.
Yeah. Not afraid of a challenge. Let's see. Best exchange to stake ETH 2.0 in your opinion?
Best exchange to stake ETH 2.0. Well, I mean, Coinbase offers it, but they're taking 25%, which is not that bad, to be honest with you. What other places have already committed to doing the staking? I mean, look, the best way to do it, obviously, is to stake and have your own node. I mean, that's going to be the best way to do it. You're going to get the most returns if you have more than 32. If you have less than 32 ETH, then yeah, stake. I would be really interested though. Oh God, this thing. I would be really interested to see, like, if you stake with Celsius or BlockFi, like, what is the return compared to if you're staking on an exchange for the ETH 2.0 validation? Like, will that actually be more? Will you get the ETH2 staking rewards and their staking rewards? Have you thought about that?
Say that again.
If you're using Celsius or BlockFi, once ETH2 rolls out, if you're staking your ETH2 tokens with them, getting return on your investment from a place like Celsius or BlockFi, are you getting compounded because you would also be getting the ETH2 rewards? I think that would just probably lead to a higher percentage.
Yeah, I think they handle all that on the back end.
Yeah, but I'm saying I think after ETH2 comes out, they will probably, because I'm sure they'll have their own validator nodes, you'll probably get a higher percentage. So I would say that's where I would lean. Coinbase for ease and convenience, but I'd be looking at Celsius and BlockFi. Richard was an absolute savage yesterday. Yeah, he was. He's a savage every day of his life.
So Cool J B33 on Twitch, will ADA ETH BTC lose 50% from all-time high in the bear market?
Yeah, I mean, it's already lost 50%. like we're not even in the true bear market yet. So we do believe there will be another run up, but yeah, we will see 80 to 85% drop for Bitcoin from the all-time high when we eventually see that. And Ethereum and Cardano will see the same, guys. You got to understand how powerful these market cycles are. Do not listen to people out there who tell you that all of a sudden now the cycles are dead and there's going to be no bear market and that, the fundamentals. Here's a big misconception. The fundamentals of this project are so good it can't drop in price. You, sir, do not understand crypto. So even though we believe in the fundamentals of Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Cardano, unfortunately, they are slaves to the cycle, and they will. And that's great for you because that's the best time to make life-changing money.
Okay, John Dillon on YouTube, opinion on AMP?
Opinion on AMP, I would say watch our video tomorrow, I think.
Yeah, I think it's tomorrow. So we have a video. Yeah, perfect. And then thoughts of America's first legal DAO on EOS from Damon Carney.
Thoughts on the first legal DAO? That's the one in Wyoming.
Yeah, that's
right.
On EOS.
I think it's bullish. I don't like EOS really at all. I'm not a big fan of that. But I mean, the fact that governments are making progress is good. Hey, I actually have to give me 1 second. I actually have to send a text right now. Believe it or not.
Wow.
Yeah, because I have to send it. I have to send the our new building address to someone who's meeting me there, and I have to do it on the stream. If I don't, then he won't go because I have to leave right after the stream.
Okay, while you're doing that, we've got another one here. Randy King 92 on Twitch. Is Polkadot a good buy? I know we were big fans of it for a while. It's had a major pullback. What are your thoughts on it recently?
Polkadot obviously has had a big pullback, and I think that I've been shocked at how much it's dropped, to be honest with you. But yeah, I mean, I'm bullish on Polkadot for the same reason I'm bullish on things in the digital currency group. That's where the whales swim. Gavin Woods behind Polkadot involved in a lot of sketchy stuff. Okay, a lot of sketchy stuff going on behind the scenes. You guys can look it up. Mega Cartel. That is one DAO, forked DAO from something called Moloch DAO, MOLOCH DAO. You guys go look all that stuff up. Oh my God, they just poisoned me.
Breathe.
Wow, they almost killed me live on air.
You can't even say Moloch DAO.
Can't even say it. Do you guys know who Moloch was? It's like a god who sacrificed children.
Yeah, it's bad.
They literally look this stuff up, guys. Polkadot people are all up in that. So, including also the guy in charge of CoinGecko, Bobby Young. He's all involved in it. So, look, I think Polkadot's got great technology. I like the perspective of creating something similar to Cardano, where you're solving a lot of the back end Ethereum problems on the front end. I like it. I think it's great tech. It's gonna pump. It's pumped. You look at it, the projects these people get behind, they all go up. Polkadot eventually will have another day in the sun, and it will be a major competitor on this market.
Okay, Jackson Kelly, is the China mining ban 4D chess?
Yeah, I definitely don't want to ban 4D chess. We play it here a lot between me and TJ. Just kidding. We play 6D chess, maybe 7. Look, I do think that there is... let me say this. When it comes to mining, China is still in control of mining, 100%. Don't be confused on this. Even if they allow the hash rate to move to other places, where are all the miners made? They're all made in China. And did you know that China allows their internal people, their internal miners, to use the newest technology in mining 6 months to a year before they ever release it to the rest of the world? So they've got a monopoly on mining. So even if the hash rate does get shared, but I do think there is a lot more going on behind the scenes. When we can kind of figure out maybe what that is, we can share some of that information with you. So,
Sebastian on YouTube, thoughts on Algorand?
I can't find this address.
I'll find it. I got it.
Yeah, I got it. Can you text it to me?
Yep.
And I can copy it.
Yep.
Thoughts on Algorand? Algorand, one of the 5 most staked coins. Cardano is number 1, Ethereum is number 2, Solana is number 3, Polkadot's number 4, and Algorand is number 5. Algorand is from I don't think you can talk about Algorand without talking about Silvio Micali, who's behind it. He's the father of cryptography. A lot of other crypto projects like Zcash, for instance, are based on things he created. He was doing cryptography before most, I would probably say most crypto CEOs were alive, at least the newer generation of those crypto CEOs. He's been doing it since he's been actually actively creating, working at MIT doing that stuff since, I think 1980, maybe even the 70s. So very interesting. Can Matic hit $10 this market and future $100? Yeah, sure. I mean, it hit $2.50, didn't it? So, I mean, a 4X if we go back up to new all-time highs from its all-time high of this cycle, certainly possible. $100 in the future, I think it's certainly possible in 5 to 10 years.
Somebody also asked, why does XRP or Ripple having a stable coin, how does that affect the price of XRP, or why is that a big deal?
Yeah, so, what it's going to allow, if you guys don't know, there's an arms race right now to create CBDCs and which chain these are going to be on. We do know that Ukraine, for instance, is going to be using Stellar as their underlying infrastructure. And when you look at, Ripple create... Now, I want to be careful what I say here, because we have a big video coming out on this week, and I'm actually going to show you guys the white paper they created, the CBDC white paper they created in general. That one will be out probably Saturday or Sunday. So I'm going to save a lot of my thoughts for that video, actually. But in general, if you look at all the top ecosystems, they have their own stable coins. It's very important. It allows more trading, more liquidity. And when you think about what Ripple's doing specifically with cross-border transfers, it's very easy to understand why having a stable coin would work and be good, because that makes prices stable. Now you're not actually having, because now I could be wrong. I could be wrong on this, but I'm pretty sure that the actual back end of these money transfers still is probably slow, right? Like Ripple's doing stuff on the front end to get the money there quicker. But at the end of the day, if you're going to send 100,000 US dollars over to somewhere else in a different country, then that money's still got to eventually get there in cash, right?
Yep.
I think. I don't know the dynamics of how the actual transferring works on Ripple, but I assume they're still on the back end that's got to work. So you would think some volatility of the price of XRP could, come into play there. So having a stable coin could delete that volatility and make it much easier. So they call me the supreme leader of XRP now. The irony. Wow. You guys know my love for XRP is fueled by TJ's hatred.
Any small cap coins with potential to be in the top 10 that you're looking at? I mean, I guess small is a relative word, obviously, so maybe lower cap. Anything in the lower in the 100s you could see climbing up? In the
lower end of the 100s? Okay.
They're climbing into the top 10. Like, do you see
into the top 10? Yeah, sure. I mean, I can look. I mean, obviously, there's some that have already, gone up there. Solana, Chainlink, Polygon, and don't sleep on Litecoin. Everybody hates Litecoin these days. Litecoin, the most consistent performer in the history of altcoins. It's in the top 10 almost every year. It has dropped out a little bit, but it was, I think, up at number 5 or 6 just about 6 months ago. So watch. The institutions love Litecoin. PayPal loves Litecoin. Coinbase loves Litecoin. There's a lot of stuff about Litecoin that people do like. So I wouldn't sleep on it. Obviously, Theta has got potential coming down here. VeChain has got potential to get up in the top 10. Filecoin's already been in the top 10. I would say watch Aave. I mean, Aave is another one that has potential to get up there. Crypto.com has been in the top 10 before, just last year. Algorand could be a sleeper to make it up there. Cosmos could be another sleeper. It's great tech. Marketing isn't great. AMP. I mean, watch. We got a video on AMP coming tomorrow. I'll give my thoughts on that.
E-Gold. That's a good one.
Elrond certainly has. I would say if you were to ask me, out of all the coins that have not been in the top 10 before, and you go through the top 100 and you look and say, what could possibly get up there? I mean, two really stand out to me. No, number one would be Engine. I mean, I think Engine definitely has that potential because as gaming gets bigger and bigger and bigger, Engine has got a great shot. I mean, Engine's going to be the gaming coin, I think. I don't think there's actually a lot of question about that. Look what they're doing with Efinity, with NFTs on the Polkadot platform. I think it's got a lot of potential to move up. Efinity could maybe eat away from some of that, excitement a little bit about Engine because, split attention, could lead to maybe it doing well and maybe Engine not doing as well. But I would also definitely look at Elrond. I would say Elrond is my number one to watch there. Why would I say that? Well, if you look at all of the major smart contract platforms, EOS, Tron, Ethereum, obviously, Cardano, Polkadot, obviously Binance Smart Chain, you could kind of throw in there as well. When you start going through that list, Cardano, and you just see that they've almost all had a pump leading up to the top 10. Tezos as well is another one. Elrond is the only one in that niche of the major competitors for decentralized smart contracts that has not moved into the top 10. So I'd say watch for Elrond. It's got potential. We've seen the history of this happening over and over and over again. So I definitely think that would be probably my number one pick to get up in the top 10 of all the projects in the top 100 that have never been in the top 10. Because obviously if a project has been there, it's already shown its potential to get there again.
There you go.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's move on. Let's get it to the Bitcoin chart. Here we go, man. This thing is looking very, how do they say it, bearish?
I was say ugly.
I mean, guys, you just got to look, at the bearative. That was for EJ. He said, how about instead of saying narrative, when it goes down, you say bearative? So I did it. Thanks, BJ. It went over like a sack of rocks. Everybody hates it. Okay, so here we go. We are looking at the 1 hour chart for Bitcoin. And guys, just look how fast the sentiment changes on stuff. VeChain $2, it'll definitely get to $2 one day. I want to think this bull run, but we are looking at different price projections based on new information I'm getting. It may not be that high, but I do think $1 is definitely in the realm of possibility for this bull run, and eventually it will hit $2. So if we go back, let's see how many candles this is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Basically about 30 hours ago, somewhere in the 30-hour ago range. So about yesterday morning, we were sitting at 35,000. We got rejected off 35,000. We were rejected off 35,000 the day before that. And now we've had a pretty good fall. If you look from where we were at 35,000 to where we went down to, you look, I mean, an 8% drop overall, and 8.1, about 8% is what it is. Now it looks like it's climbing on the way back up. Let's see what the Heiken Shis are telling us here. Heiken Shis are telling us, looks like maybe we bottomed, maybe we're moving back up. I don't really know, to be honest with you. NFT
Bitburst Punks drop that is happening tomorrow.
It's happening tomorrow. Justin's out of town this week, so that's why we're short on information on that. But we will have that information on the live stream for you tomorrow. We will give you the punk that the airdrop is going to, and then the coin that is going to be split up, $10,000 between holders. So, but anyways, when we look at this, it looks like maybe we bottomed out. And look, guys, I don't know. I told you, we're seeing a lot of confusion in the markets, and we'll see some of that with stories today. We got more China FUD coming out. We've got government FUD coming out. We got a lot of FUD, not as much as we had a few weeks ago, though. And I still stick with what I said. Middle of this month, we'll be moving back up. I'm thinking the beginning of next week to the end of next week, we might see one last dip, similar to what we just saw. I think we'll head back up in the 34, 35 range here pretty soon. I was hoping we'd be at 36 by the end of the week, but this little drop pretty much means that we're not going to do that. You did see we did get a yellow X on market Cipher here, which is never good news on the hourly chart. Led to a massive dump there. If you go back to last time we got a yellow X, you can see we had a pretty similar movement down, a reprieve, and then another dump down to that same level. Let's see here, just to get another example of a yellow X. See kind of how they played out recently on the hourly chart. If you go back to around June when Bitcoin actually made a new bottom, we had yellow X after yellow X after yellow X. So we really just got to see, are we going to get a bounce here? Are we going to get moving back in the upward direction? Or are we going to actually have another massive drop? I don't see it coming. If you look here, we're already in oversold territory since yesterday. They just don't have the power to push this down right now, I think, a lot. CryptoFace shorted that last night. We got Damon saying that. I saw that video. I woke up this morning. I didn't even know what the Bitcoin price was this morning. Woke up. I saw that video. I said, oh, I guess it's down. You know, if he's shorting it, it must be going down. So, but he closed it, I think. So I don't know. CryptoFace, I told you guys, I talked to him yesterday. And he told me that he thinks things are a little dicey right now. We got some charts showing bullish, some showing bearish. But overall, you know, there is hope that we do have a pump incoming, and I already told you I think that is happening. So, McAfee, I don't know what that is. XRP price target. Well, we've given you guys price targets of anywhere between $12 and $30. And XRP is an interesting one because if you really think about these market cycles and you think about when these things generally end, I can kind of see a scenario to where if the SEC lawsuit case does go, and we'll have more information about this weekend, but if it does go all the way until October, like the last possible discovery date before they reach a settlement, then that kind of puts it at the end of the bull run, in my estimation, the end of the altcoin season, somewhere in that October to November range. So we could actually see a scenario to where, you know, somewhere in October, let's say the middle of October, XRP gets, you know, the settlement, everything's fine, everything's on the up and up, moving up. I can see where XRP could actually propel the overall altcoin season much further, maybe even into the beginning of next year because of all the excitement that will be. I mean, guys, even people that hate XRP will tell you that this price has been suppressed more than any other coin in this market, and for good reason. I mean, obviously, if you have a lawsuit hanging over your head that could actually have a ripple effect on the entire crypto space going forward in regulation, then it would make people a little more, skeptical to invest. And so once that is gone, that dark cloud is gone, I mean, this thing has not even reached an all-time high this year. It's only got, it still has to have like a 50% move from this year's high to get to a new all-time high. So we have 96,000 people watching.
No.
This is amazing. This is more than the Super Bowl.
Well,
in the stadium.
Yeah, okay. 9,650.
Oh, 9,650. We got 2,600 likes. Let's go ahead, guys. Let's try to get this thing to 6,000 likes today. If you guys do us a favor, hit that like button. More people will see this video. Make sure X out of the mobile chat. X out of the live chat if you're on mobile, that is. Hit the like button. Then you come back to the live chat. If you're on TV, bottom left-hand corner of the screen, more actions, react, like, boom. If you guys want to dislike the video too, hey, that helps us just the same. If you hate me, feel free to dislike the video. It still goes towards my clout. All right, here we go. Let's check out the Accumulation Station here. This is where we have a chart where we want to show you here about entities net growth. This is a 14-day moving average. And when we start looking at this chart, is the only thing it's just this chart for this?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think it is, apparently. So basically when you look back at the bull run, and I'm going to do what I always do here, which is I'm going to screenshot this so I can draw on it, because I love to draw. You guys know BitBoy versus drawing yesterday. Okay, let me open this up. Here we go. Put it right there. Move this down. Okay. All right, so what we want to see on this, basically this is the entities net growth. This is a 14-day moving average of new amounts of wallets, correct?
I believe so. What is? I think it says
net entities.
In the last 14 days or something like that.
Yeah, 14-day moving average is basically the average amount of new wallets that are being created. When you go back here, when you look here at 2013, at that bull run that had 2 lifespans, similar to what we're looking at here, possibly in this market. I want you guys to look at the chart here. Look down here. What happened? You got a parabolic move. You got a parabolic move in addresses both times, okay? Now let's look at, this was actually the beginning of that bull run, by the way, of the 2016 bull run. I guess this would have been, I think around the time, no, the halving was in July of 16. So I actually don't know what led this new creation in wallets, but you look here, you see, as soon as that happened, you had to move up. But let's look at 2017 bull run. Look at this. Parabolic move. Matches every single time. You come back here and you look at the fake out that happened in the summer of 2019. And you can see it wasn't really a parabolic move. It was kind of flat, right? It had 2 peaks in it. And that's why you had this fake out here where it looked like things were going to go parabolic and then they dropped back down again. Well, look at what is happening right now. We've got a move not close to described as parabolic, right? What is a parabolic move? A parabolic move is when the chart goes straight up. When you look back here, it's very easy to see this. It was going up, but then all of a sudden I know where it went straight up and straight down. Notice here, we have not had that. We never had anything close to that for this bull run. That's why I tell you, and I'll say it again over and over and over again, that we have not seen the top of this market. And it's so amazing to me. Like even when we had Richard on yesterday, and then we had Nerd Girl on a while back, and she said the same thing. And then Crypto Face has kind of said the same thing a few times. I mean, Crypto Face is a slave to the chart. And so obviously he can change his mind based on what he sees in a chart in an instant. But we talked a few weeks ago. He gave us a little hope there could be more, but he pretty much told you, sell in May, walk away. Richard Hart said 64K was the top, not coming back. And then the reasoning he said is, well, hey, we see an 85% drop every single bull run, and then we're going to see the price go down to $10,000 to $11,000 because that's an 85% drop from $64,000. Well, I do not believe that we will be going that low to $10,000 or $11,000, and the reason is because I believe this market is not topped out yet. I agree with him. We will see an 85% drop from the new all-time high. but we haven't seen that number yet. We don't know what that number is going to be. I've already told you the number I'm being told by the powers that be is around $100,000. So I'm definitely looking for middle of July, this to start moving up. We're making all of our decisions based on that here. We are not making any decisions of getting out of the market because we think it's going to drop lower. It will eventually, though, and this is where it really helps when you understand what we call the Bitcoin golden bull ratio. So we can pull it up here just so you guys understand what this means. Basically, the other two cycles, you pull them up, you look, you can tell 51% of the bull run was in between the bottom of the market and the halving, and then 49% of that bull run was from the halving to the top of the market. You come here and you look at this run right here. Same thing. Now notice, it's totally different. If you look here, this one was 54 bars. These are weekly candles. 54 weekly candles and then 53 weekly candles. 76 weekly candles and 75 weekly candles. The important part is not the length of the bull run. The important part is understanding the ratio of when each part of this comes into play, and that gives you an ultimate date that you can pick, which is September 28th for the end of the Bitcoin bull market, because we already know the first half of that equation, the 51% from the bottom of the market in December of 2019 or 2018, from December of 2018 to the top or to the halving of May 11th last year, I think it was May 11th of 2020. And then from May 11th, 2020, do the math to where the end of that should be, and you come up with September 28th. So I agree it will drop, but we're not there yet. And if you come and you look at this golden bull ratio, I mean, you will see each one of these markets had significant retracements. So, like if you look here, look at all these big retracements that we had. So yeah, we had a monumental drop here during this market, bigger than the last one, but not as big as the first one. So I do think that we will see that. So well, if it's September, then how is XRP going to $30 by December? Well, because you have to understand, altcoins run after Bitcoin tops out. In the last cycle, it ran about 4 to 5 weeks, depending on the coin. After, we think that could be extended a little bit because we do think that this market could be possibly a little bit longer than the last one, maybe just a little bit, maybe a week. I don't know, maybe not. We'll see. So 4 to 6 weeks after that. But if the XRP news breaks in October, then that can push the market a little bit further. I think we're way behind on time today.
We did a little extra Q&A.
Yeah, we did like 10 minutes, which is fine. I like talking to the people. I love the people. The people make the channel. It's not me. It's a BitSquad. Everybody knows that. So let's check out some Ethereum upgrades here. We got Ethereum's deflationary. Let's try to stick to time on the rest of the way out, though, because I got to leave at 10 till.
Okay.
Ethereum's deflationary EIP 1559 upgrade now deployed on all test nets. So which one was the Rinkby? That is the last one that it was going to go on. I spit on my microphone. Ethereum's London hard fork has gone live on the Rinkby test net. Let me get rid of this here. I hate that. According to leading developer Tim Biko. Got to be Biko. And we're live. All 3 testnets have successfully been upgraded to London. Because of Open Ethereum being depreciated after London, a block hasn't been set for Kovan yet, and it will likely upgrade after the mainnet. Ultrasound money. So Ethereum's London hard fork, which includes Ethereum Improvement Proposal 1559, is considered to be one of the most, and at the same time, one of the most controversial upgrades in the project's history. Bad commas there. I don't think that read the way they thought it did. It dramatically It will dramatically change.
That's really dramatic.
Wow. Also traumatic and also not grammatic. Okay. Change the network's fee model by introducing the so-called base fee instead of the existing first price auction fee. Meanwhile, the fee burn mechanism that comes with EIP 1559 will turn Ether into a deflationary asset. Upgrade was vehemently opposed by miners. Other critics also pointed to the fact that Ether's total supply will remain malleable and unpredictable despite the deflationary pressure. It's currently seen as a major bull case for the second largest crypto. Ethereum keeps outperforming Bitcoin. We've seen this has added over 20% in the past 2 weeks. A lot of that did get eaten up this morning, though, as we did have a drop in that. Just real quick, let's check out the Ethereum to Bitcoin chart, see where that stands at right now. And you can see, I mean, blood diamond on it since yesterday, or is today the 8th? I guess since early this morning, it looks like maybe, on the hourly chart. You guys can see, I said it ate up most of those gains. It said it gained 20% over recent weeks. And you can see what a fall. And this is just what is going to happen when Bitcoin is going down tremendously like it did this morning. But it might be picking up. It's back up to 32.8 right now, so we'll have to check that out. Ethereum going to London in August, but some changes will need to wait. Is that Ethereum or Cardano delaying a launch? I don't know. Ethereum going to London in August, but some changes will need to wait. It is a gradual process of transitioning to ETH 2.0 and proof of stake, its consensus mechanism, might get its London upgrade on or around August 4th, at which point a number of changes will take effect, including the much anticipated Ethereum improvement proposal to revamp the monetary system. So if you want to know why this is important, I think this is a good way to put it here. It splits the transaction fees into two parts. The tip that can be set by the user and a base fee, which will be burned. And by burn, by the way, that does not mean they light it on fire. It means they send it to a dead address. So once it goes in that address, it's impossible to come out of it. Some ETH supporters will find this burning fee will transform it into a deflationary crypto asset, make it a serious store of value rival to Bitcoin. ETH won't immediately become deflationary because the proof of work mining will continue producing net inflation until Ethereum switches to proof of stake this year. So long and the short of it is, I mean, it's EIP, I mean, really all they're saying here is EIP 1559 is good, but wait until we roll the whole thing out. Wait until ETH2 comes out. And I think the EIP 1559 was a great idea. It's going to fix some of the deflationary stuff, and it's also going to kind of, in the short term, give us some price hopium, right? That's what we all want. So it has been pushed off to August. And that is why you could be seeing the Bitcoin versus Ethereum dichotomy flip once again right now. And eventually it will flip it permanently. But in other cases, it's not the only EIP in the London package. EIP 3529 helps offset the additional block size variance introduced by EIP 1559, which allows blocks to use up to twice the gas limit. 3541 will set the stage for EVM improvements. And then we have the difficulty bomb, a.k.a. the Ice Age, will now move to December 1st. It makes sense, I think, to have an Ice Age in December.
I was going to say the same thing.
Were you? Mm-hmm. I'm rubbing off on you. What? Yeah. Rubbing off on you, TJ. That's what I meant to say. Everybody knows that.
Freudian slip.
What's that?
I said Freudian slip.
I don't know who that is. Yeah. Okay. Full chart, total staked value. Here's some more Ethereum stuff, by the way, real quick. You can see how much this has increased. Even though the price has gone down, the amount staked is still going up tremendously. People believe in this ETH 2.0. It is going to be quite fun. More CBDC news. CBDC, I said it weird. CBDC. You say it CBDC, but maybe I should change it. CBDC. That's the new way to say this. CBDC is being considered by Reserve Bank of New Zealand. New Zealand planning to launch a CBDC. The initial consultation will focus on a more high-level look at money and cash stewardship. One of the driving factors, or one of the factors driving the change, is public displeasure with cash and in-person banking service. Who loves to go to the bank? That's what I want to know.
Not me.
Nobody loves that. New Zealand Central Bank, the Reserve Bank of New Zealand, published a notice on July 7th stating that it had begun consultation over a broader currency system that supports the prosperity and well-being of New Zealanders. Assistant Governor Kristen Hawkesby said that officials have been thinking about what a resilient and stable currency system might be, and also refers to digital innovations. And I mean, you really think about it, one way to say it is a sustainable economy. I mean, we haven't had a true sustainable economy. Everything cycles through. What would an economy look like that would be able to go beyond 100 years? Because, generally a lot of, these financial systems, they change about every 100 to 200 years. The initial consultation will focus on a more high-level look at money and cash stewardship. Hawksby confirmed that these consultations would focus on a CBDC, interestingly enough. The authorities would also look at issues associated with cryptos like Bitcoin and stablecoins. So what is the potential? Well, it can help address some of the downsides of reducing physical cash and services. It's something we want to explore for New Zealand. Guys, here's what you don't know. Cash and crypto are extremely similar, okay? Fiat and crypto are the exact opposites. So when you see a lot, you might be confused, and you might think that when you hear a lot of these countries going to cashless societies, that that's a good thing, right? Like, oh, well, that's great. We could go to crypto. That's not cash. It's not true. When they say a cashless society, they basically mean a system that is full of control and checks to where every dollar that you spend can be seen. Crypto and cash are actually synonymous in that way because you have privacy in your transactions. So there we go. We got also some other ones that are launching CBDCs: China, Canada, Japan, Sweden, Cambodia, and the Bahamas. By the way, I felt so bad for my wife because my wife, she loves the Olympics so much. Speaking of Japan, did you see that they said they're having a pandemic round 2 over there, and they're doing now no spectators for the Olympics?
Wow. Well, we were actually talking about that before the show started with some of the people here in the office about what could potentially start sending everything back down, both crypto markets and traditional markets at the start of 2022. Yeah. And we were talking about, like, what if they try to do another lockdown? What would happen?
Yeah. Or if they try to create a new pandemic.
Oh, crap.
I mean, sorry. So anyways, yeah, so I thought that was interesting. I mean, it's pretty sad because my wife, she loves the Olympics, and they're still going to go on, but it's not the same without the people watching. I mean, you feel bad for the athletes too every 4 years. But I was going to take her to the Olympics this year, but I told her, I said, honey, that's like bear market stuff, And, well, now we couldn't have gone anyways. I'm glad I didn't book a ticket.
Yeah.
That would have been bad.
I have a feeling, though, we're going to see something big and dramatic Q1 of 2022 that resets a lot of stuff.
I would probably tend to agree with you. France test CBDC. We already talked about some of that stuff, too. Let's move on here. There is an enormous amount of commercial interest in Cardano, Charles Hoskinson hits. Well, not just, commercial interest, but also institutional interest, which some people would say. There's a lot of overlap there. Cardano founder Charles Hoskinson took to YouTube. We got a big Cardano video for you guys later today to give more information on this. But they will be giving he gave a brief update on Alonzo. He said, when you look at the D5 set on Cardano, there are dozens, if not hundreds of good candidates there, and over 1,500 developers trained through the Police Pioneers program. So there's an enormous amount of commercial interest, traction, community effort with Cardano. This was, of course, right after Charles faced his critics over this tweet here. This time next year, this is July 26, 2020, which, by the way, what's today's date?
July 8th.
Hey, he still got 16 days to try to pull this off, or 18 days. 18 days to try to pull this off. Little premature for Chris Berninsky to go at this guy. A little premature. I'm just saying, little premature.
Could have given it a couple more weeks.
Yeah, I think it's not going to happen. Obviously, we know it's not because of the rollout. But this time next year, I predict there will be hundreds of assets running on Cardano, thousands of dApps, tons of interesting projects, and lots of unique use and utility. 2021, it's going to be so much fun watching Cardano grow and evolve. The community is definitely ready to innovate. Like, yeah, hello. That's all that's happening. It's just, I think they've had about a total of 6 months worth of pushbacks over this year. Maybe it's closer to 4 to 5 months. If we move back and let's say all of this had gone off without a hitch, like let's even say at the beginning of June, or let's say in the springtime, we had already rolled out the smart contracts on Cardano, there's no doubt this would be true. Guys, I mean, look how fast these ecosystems blow up. Look at Binance Smart Chain. Look how big these ecosystems blow up when they launch. Mm-hmm. Okay? Especially with the hype circumstance that Cardano will launch with. So if that didn't happen, they would be there. Now, a lot of people think that's why they don't like Charles. That's why they don't like Cardano. It's because it does get pushed back. But you know what? Everything they put out works. And I can tell you by working with CardStarter and working with Occam Finance, there is no shortage of projects getting ready to launch on there. So many. Some of them are already launching as ERC20s and will move over to the Cardano ecosystem when all that launches.
I got a kind of a random question for you. So I know you talk a lot about, the price is driven by speculation, not necessarily the fundamental use case.
100%, yeah.
So if Cardano keeps getting delays and it gets pushed back maybe 2-3 more times and they don't get this launched in the next bull run up or maybe before the end of this year, but they do in a bear market, what do you think that's going to do?
Charles is smarter than that.
So you don't think that'll happen?
No, I don't. I think if you look back, I would argue, and he denies this, and I'm not saying he's a liar or anything. I could obviously be wrong. I mean, I respect Charles. I think a lot of this is by design. I mean, I really do. If you look at the slow roadmap, it was geared to launch this thing during this bull run. It was never geared to launch it in 2019 or 2020. It was geared to launch in this bull run. And by launch, I mean the Shelley hard fork, right? That's when it really, started. A lot of people would say that's when Cardano kind of actually started to make progress. So I would say, look, if Cardano were to actually get delayed and the smart contracts weren't launched this year, I don't see it happening. I think it will, period. I think it's by design. I think it's strategic, and I think that they will launch probably, right at the peak of altcoin season, and that will send it up much, much further. And, of course, maybe XRP carries the thing a little bit further after that based on the lawsuit news. But I think it's strategic, and if it launches in the bear market, we have seen this happen before, okay? We've seen it happen before. We saw it happen with EOS. EOS launched in a bear market. What it'll do is it will have one of these go right back to where it was. If you go and you look at the EOS chart, it's really easy to see when they launched theirs just by looking at the chart. It was in the top 4 at one point. So if you go back and you look, this was in January of 18. It peaked out, and you guys can see right here, this is when the bear market started. Here's where EOS launched. Oh, boom. And then what happened? All the way back down. So that's what you would see. You're not going to see unless the only way we can see that would be if Ethereum flippins Bitcoin in this cycle and decouples. If Ethereum can decouple from Bitcoin, that changes everything. That changes everything for every individual product and project because it shows they can stand on their own. Because if Ethereum can pass Bitcoin, then wow, the mystique of the first mover advantage is gone. And everything won't follow Bitcoin. Some might say maybe then they'd follow Ethereum. Don't really know. So maybe that could be really bullish for breaking the cycles eventually. All right, moving on here. We got China leaving no stone unturned. Wow. The Beijing office of the People's Bank of China announced yesterday it called for the shutdown of a company developing software for crypto transactions. The authorities also warned citizens against trading cryptos due to risks attached. The authorities shut down the operations of Beijing Kudao Cultural Development Limited, claiming that the company provides software services that supports crypto trading activities. Now, I'd be really interested to see who's using their tech. Could it be Binance? I don't know. I don't know what Binance uses on the back end. I don't know. Is there a connection there? That would be interesting. I don't know who they actually support, but it says, according to regulators, companies operating in Beijing are no longer permitted to provide business premises, ad display, marketing, or paid online traffic services. Crypto entities, we saw America do the same thing there for a while. Crypto market is used to China's ban on crypto. Obviously, anybody who's been in this market would tell you the whole thing is a joke. Oh, Tyler said, or Typer C911 says the B-Punk this week is Blockbuster, and the token was AIOZ Network. That sounds right.
Yeah, and that's going to happen tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll talk about that officially tomorrow, but yeah, that is correct if you guys want some inside info. The People's Bank of China directed banks and payment companies in China to stop providing financial services to crypto entities. The Sichuan government also joined other Chinese provinces in banning crypto mining in the region. However, despite the constant FUD from China, Bitcoin's price has maintained its position in recent weeks. I mean, we've just been sideways. I mean, the power of the FUD is running out of steam. It's running out of steam. Why? Because a lot of the people that would be selling during these times, they're already gone. You got your holders that are left at this point. And a China FUD story doesn't move the needle. A 1 month Chinese attack on Bitcoin for the purposes of price manipulation, it moved the needle a little bit. But of course, Bitcoin was back above $40,000 at that time. So quite different place than we are now. China's war on Bitcoin just hit a new level with its latest crypto crackdown. China's central bank said Tuesday it had called for the shutdown of a company that was suspected of providing software services. Let's see. Beijing could be looking to stem capital outflows via stablecoins. So that's pretty interesting. So why China has essentially declared war on crypto in 2021? We're all wondering, said Nick Carter. No, you're not, Nick. Don't be an idiot, Nick. Are you just talking to talk at this point? I'm not saying Nick's a dumb guy. I kind of like some of the stuff he says. My point is, Nick, you know better. You know what's happening. This is a guy who knows the ins and outs of crypto. One theory is that it's part of a broader law and order push ahead of the 100th anniversary of the CCP this year. Wow. They're cracking down on all sorts of undesirable behavior. Is this serious? Is he really saying this? Well, obviously they're cracking down on crypto because they're celebrating 100 years of communism. What? Sometimes, man. I've said some dumb stuff too before, maybe multiple times. Crypto has long been synonymous with crime on the mainland. The largest ever Ponzi in crypto was likely Plus Token, which was a Chinese project. Yeah, you know what's interesting? You saw no crackdown after the Plus Token Ponzi scheme, which was the biggest Ponzi scheme in the history of crypto, fourth largest Ponzi scheme in the history of the world, period. Bigger than Bernie Madoff, okay? Bigger than BitConnect. If you think BitConnect was big, this was way bigger, okay? So the interesting thing, I mean, at least by $1 billion or so, the interesting thing is you didn't see the crackdown then. When do you see it? When crypto's pumping, when things are going well. In that scheme, scammers swindled $5.7 billion. I think BitConnect was $4 billion, I think, from investors, and dozens were arrested. That will be lingering in their memory. Yeah, something from 2 years ago. Yeah, really stuck in the memory, very firm during this time, the 100-year anniversary of communism in China. Another theory is China is clearing the runway for its own digital yuan, a central bank digital currency that's been in development since 2014. How did I say yuan for so long and none of y'all corrected me? I'm really disappointed in you, BitSquad. Really disappointed. Carter only popular because of El Salvador Twitter. I mean, that's where he's gotten known for recently. I've known of who he is for a long time. Yep. Mostly because once you hear his name, you think he's a Backstreet Boy. So, you know, you don't forget it. Who's running around?
I don't know. We're like rolling.
Is that Ada running around?
Gallons of water.
Oh, it's Allie chasing Ada?
Oh, that makes sense.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Whoa. Do not say she has heavy feet. I'm going to tell her. That.
It comes through this mic. You can hear them talking. So that was on the stream.
Another theory is that China is clearing the runway. And I've actually talked about that before, that I do think that is a possibility about the digital yuan. Part of this is to ensure the adoption of crypto central bank digital, their CBDC, whatever. The most likely motivator is Beijing is looking to stem capital outflows via stablecoins and cryptos. China choking off the flow of yuan to crypto is a big deal. I'd say, I mean, the obvious, well, thanks, Quentin. He said he didn't know. I didn't know. When you see that, think it's yuan, think it's yuan. That's what I thought. But anyways, guys, like, obviously this is for manipulation. China's in some other people's pockets, and there's some other people in China's pockets. That's what I'll tell you. And when you really start to digest that, you know what's happening here. This is all smoke and mirrors. It's a big facade. It's all FUD and manipulation 100%. There's zero manipulation in the market. No, there's way more than that. I think it explains a lot of the market weakness and sell-off. If China's goal was to kill Bitcoin by shutting down 50% of the mining capacity and prohibiting trading, it didn't work. I'd expect this type of news to have less of an impact on Bitcoin's exchange rate than it has historically. Yeah, of course. I mean, I agree with that as well. Well, I tell you what I would like to do, and I don't think this is probably possible, but I would really like to, man, it'd be great if we could get someone who lives in China to talk about what their experience in crypto is right now. But of course, I'd have to mask him, I guess. I don't know what we'd have to do. Or maybe somebody that came over here recently that would talk about it. Because I know for India, we talk to people from India all the time that are a little more free to give information. They say the whole thing's a joke. We can trade crypto. It's no big deal.
I wonder if, well, I guess he's Anon, so he wouldn't come on.
Who's that?
The crypto dog. He lived over there for a long time. He might still be there. I don't know where. I know he moves around and does different stuff over there, but he'd have a really good perspective.
Yeah, well, and Spencer just came back from there, didn't he?
He did. Yeah.
All right, guys.
No, Japan, I think.
Japan.
Doesn't he live in Japan, Spencer?
Oh, he's back in the UK right now.
Well, he is back in the UK right now, but I think he lived in...
He was in Japan.
Japan for 10 years, yeah. But anyway.
All right, guys, we got this story here. UFC gets a $175 million sponsorship deal where crypto platform Crypto.com. Now, I actually talked to a guy who had actually done some sponsorships for UFC back when the price to get a big logo on the octagon floor, the mat, was only $5,000. I bet that's $175 million. That's definitely a lot bigger. Binance is blocked in China. Yeah, but we know a lot of those people use VPNs. And they're risking their life in some cases, but they do. UFC enjoys a piece of crypto money. Endeavor-owned UFC has agreed to sign a sponsorship deal with Crypto.com, as per which the crypto platform's name will be on wrestlers' fight kits, both in and out of the arena. The details of the deal aren't known to the public. However, according to a CNBC report, people quite familiar with the deal have said it's worth $175 million over 10 years. And this is interesting because if you didn't know, Crypto.com paid $12 million just for the domain.
Yep.
Crypto.com. And it used to be called Monaco. I remember when they were Monaco. I did a review on them before they were even Crypto.com back on the channel where I wore a backwards hat and did the videos inside of a giant green spaceship. But Crypto.com's a crypto website with over 10 million users, and now they got the money to do $175 million in deals. But I'm really interested on how it says over 10 years, 17.5 mil a year. I know they had to lower some of their staking returns because it wasn't profitable for them. Like they were losing money on some of those staking deals. So very interesting. It looks like they're making money now. Company's deal with wrestling giant UFC isn't without precedence. Crypto.com has already signed similar sports deals with other organizations in the past. Chris Marszalek of Crypto.com says this is just the beginning of a long relationship with UFC. We're looking forward to what we build together. Let's see. Dapper Labs, the NFT known for Top Shot, has exclusive license for NFTs. There's a little bit more to this story here on Cointelegraph, also known as Cointelli. Oh, that's a better name. Cointelli. I like that one. I stole that from somebody, but it sounded good. It rolled off the tongue great. UFC inks $175 million partnership. Let's see if there's any new information in this article about it. Fight Kit partnership. Blah, 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 blah. Actively enjoying the benefits. Several partnerships. Latest partnership marks another major milestone in the growing convergence of crypto and sports industry. Last week, the Portland Trail Blazers landed its first team jersey patch agreement with blockchain reward app StormX. I had not heard this.
I saw that on TikTok.
Wow. As part of the sponsorship deal, Trailblazers will feature StormX logo on team jerseys for the next 5 years, beginning with the 2021-2022 season. Very interesting there. I love Crypto.com. Guys, if you do want to get a Crypto.com card, like I've got, you can head on over to bitboycrypto.com/deals. Scroll down to the Crypto.com section. You got to put the code BitBoy in, and you get $25 just for signing up for the card. They got several different tiers. I've got the Jade Green card, and like I said, we love Crypto.com. I'm rooting for them, even though they're not in the crypto cartel. I'm certainly hoping that they'll, continue, and maybe they won't get it as bad as Binance is getting it, But if Binance starts to fall from grace, and Crypto.com is next up, so we'll see what happens.
What is? I've never heard of that.
I don't know what that is.
I don't either. I hope it's.
Yeah, here, let me pull it up.
Let's check. Yeah, before we say.
Let's check it before we say.
Thanks for that super chat, Ben.
Yeah, thanks for the super chat there, Ben. I like people named Ben. Is this a new project? What is this? Oh, is this, or did they just steal my computer just now? I have a Mac. You can't actually do that. I don't know what that is. Okay. All right. So here we go. We got government FUD. We've got your favorite political person outside of Janet Notel and Yellen and Brad the Weasel cul-de-sac head Sherman. Senator Elizabeth Warren warns of crypto risks, presses SEC on oversight authority. I just can't believe. Plans on getting the white or the black card, the Crypto.com card. To me, it's not really that significant to move to the black card. I think you got to have like $150,000 or something like that to get the black card, which is no big deal. I mean, I could certainly do that. But the only thing is, the one thing I want with Crypto.com is I wish they would let me spend more. I want a higher limit than $25,000 a month. I want to be able to put a car on there, a whole car on there, or something like that. So that would be why I would want to upgrade the card. I mean, you get better staking rewards. But I'm happy with my Jade card, to be honest with you. I wouldn't get the white. I would either go to the black for clout purposes, or it would be strictly clout purposes. But I'd like to see them up that range of what we can spend on it down the road. I'd like to see that. So, but the thing about Senator Elizabeth Warren that just drives me insane is her intellectual dishonesty, her lack of transparency, the fact that she is on the payroll for big banks, and yet she parades around. Elizabeth Warren is the Robin Hood app of politics. She comes out here and parades around like she's some kind of person trying to steal from the rich and give to the poor. But if you really listen to what she says, everything she says is in favor of big banks. Here's the difference. She wants to speak out about businesses, but yet the banks are in her back pocket. And to me, it reminds me so much of the way Robin Hood, the app, came out and said, we're for the little guy. But you know what they were doing? They were selling you all off to the hedge funds. Elizabeth Warren sell you down the river every day of the week that ends in Y to make money. This is one of the most power-hungry, all these lifetime politicians are, but she's the most dishonest, power-hungry politician that I know of. She's just a total fraud and a total sham.
So we got Logic
for real
with a K. FR is rating us, so thanks.
Yeah,
74 extra people from his stream in here.
Oh, appreciate that.
Nice.
Thank you for watching.
Welcome Raiders.
Welcome Raiders. I like that. Anyway, so back to Elizabeth Warren here. She warned of the growing risk of that crypto poses to consumers, financial markets by highly opaque and volatile, which she would definitely be someone I would describe as highly opaque. Crypto market and blasted its lack of regulation is unsustainable. She's on the Senate Banking Committee subcommittee on economic policy. Big surprise on a banking committee. Also raised her concerns in a letter to Securities and Exchange Commissioner Gary Gensler, which I got Gary Gensler. He may not be all he's cracked up to be either. In an effort that could help lay the groundwork for legislation to regulate the fast-growing market. While demand for crypto and the use of crypto exchanges have skyrocketed, the lack of common sense regulations has left ordinary investors at the mercy of manipulators and fraudsters. Need that. I don't know what that is.
I think he just sent us an email for the editing job.
Oh, okay, cool. Let's see what she had to say. Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell, which, by the way, I found out that Jerome Powell met with Coinbase in May. Did you know that? You hear about that?
Mm-hmm. And Brian Brooks. I think was Brian Brooks still with?
No. He was gone in. He was gone in April. Brian Brooks was already in charge of Binance US when we went to that conference in Miami because that's where it happened.
Yeah. No, but I did know that Jerome Powell's been having a lot of those conversations. That's why I kept saying I still think USDC will be what they use.
Could be. They warned about crypto in her letter to Gensler, reviewed by Reuters, which I still think should be Reuters. Warren said crypto platforms lack the same basic protections, yada yada. The same old BS. I mean, this is a banking broad. She's a banking broad. That's what we should call her, the banking broad. I like that. Jacinto Leite de Madeira. I love BitBoy, BitSquad, and Theta from Portugal. Well, we certainly love people from Portugal. So thank you for watching.
And all those other things.
Oh yeah, we love all those other things too. Even me. I love myself. I think that's the key to our success. Self-love, guys. Self-love, self-care. Russia drafting law on confiscation of crypto assets. Yeah, I bet Putin wants to be able to come take your crypto so he can add it to his stack. I don't know. Maybe old Grisha Fishman over there is like working with him to try to steal some stuff too. Russia is preparing amendments to its current legislation to allow for confiscation of crypto assets. Announcement came from the Prosecutor General of the Russian Federation. Yada yada yada. Long and short of it is, Russia wants to steal your crypto. Elizabeth Warren wants to give all your money to the banks. And I just love you and want you to have a great day. That's all I got. Be blessed. BitBoy out.